There we go. Yeah, that was a bit of an issue here. Damn, I hadn't... auto start was not on. How dumb is that? There we go. So I thought we were live already, so I had already explained a little bit. Yeah, welcome to my stream. I do this a lot, so it's not actually the first time that... so yeah, I got like a lot of things going on. I don't have a VTube avatar. No, it's basically just me on my face, and I don't mind showing that. So you could look at other streams after this. So just to clarify a little bit, this is together with a class of the AUAS, Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences, game development. It's in Dutch, but it's the link. I put the link in the description so that people who are interested later can maybe look at that and sign up or whatever. But right now there's people in the chat that are actually taking that course. So yeah, let's just start and use all the time we have. Here we go. I've got this whole setup here. It's Visual Studio Code. It's not Visual Studio because it's a little cleaner and faster, and I actually like it. Lately, I like it more than Visual Studio. There's like more power in Visual Studio, can do more things, but this is like nice and clean. I've set up this little program that doesn't do a lot. It just will give you a console. It says "Welcome to the world of Carinel." It's just a name of a prototype we're working on anyway, so I just used that, and then it gives you a prompt. What would you like to do? And I this like classic test adventure, I would say go east. And right now the only thing it can do is reply, sorry, I don't know what you mean with, and then for instance now go east. So that's the only thing we can do here. And normally, well, there's like this loop here, so I can keep going forever until I close the program. I would like have a little thing there, like a command to close it or exit or something, but let's not worry about that right now. What I'm going to worry about right now is explaining something about regular expressions and a little state machine. Hopefully we can get to both of those. I've got a little plan here that I will open for myself here now. Yes. All right. So basically, what I've got here is an input string that I can do something with. So at this point, I will want to like try to match something. I'm just going to put it here right now, and later I might make some more nice functions. What I need is to use a system.text.regular expressions so that I can use the regex class. So right now I can use regex.match is the most useful one. You've got regex.match is a useful one, replace is a very useful one, and split. So let's just start with match. So I could give an input and a pattern. So the input is just the input that the user has typed. And now for the pattern, I can do anything. So let's start with just seeing if it works and see if I can, like, well, you know what this means, match anything. So what I get from this match is a match object. So let's call it match. And then I can check if match is successful. If that means there is a match. So now I can match, and then I will put this in an else. Hey, why didn't it indent that for me? All right. So if it's successful, then I can write something else down. I don't know. Right now, you'd expect it to match everything and anything. So let's do this, and whatever I write, it will say thanks. Should say thanks. All right. So now let's make it a little bit more interesting, and I'll say, for instance, match anything, and then YOLO, and then anything. So what this does, well, you've seen that. Anything and with YOLO in the sentence will now be matched. So I don't know, just the first thing I thought of. So whatever I do now, it doesn't know what I mean unless I say you see, well, YOLO. And it doesn't matter where I type the YOLO, it just because I match anything before and after, it will just let me know that it's successful. So now there's more powerful stuff that I can do with it. And that's something that hasn't been in class yet, but it's called pattern matching, group matching. If I put parentheses around something, then it will catch this into a group. Anything in parentheses is called a group. So this thing would be the first group, and this would be the second group. So well, let's just say you wrote and then something and then something else, and then I can put here the group matches, the groups from this match. Here you get groups, and I can say group 0, that would be the first group, but the first group actually that you get in groups is the whole string that matches. So it counts from 0 for the whole group, and then 1 for the first, and then 2 for the second one. So I would do groups 1 to get the thing before YOLO, and then I get groups 2, oops, the thing after YOLO. So here we go. You wrote well with a space and then with a space in front. So you see that you can match groups, and then you can use those. So that's something that we're going to use later to input into something that's going to take all those little groups that you've matched and see if they mean something. All right. Now there's another thing that you can do that I also mentioned, and maybe we'll do that first. I'm going to actually replace like all the characters that I don't want to look at. So that's gonna be like spaces is fine, but I don't want 5 spaces in between my words or anything. And also I don't want commas and points and parentheses and all that. So if I want to only match the words and like split it into groups or something. So that's where regex.replace comes in handy. I can here use the input and then a pattern, and something that matches will be replaced with the string in replacement. You can also do this without regular expressions, that's fine, but right now it's a little bit more powerful because what I can do is make it like replace anything in the pattern instead of using like a replace for this and a replace for that and a replace for nothing. So what I can do now is I match, and that's where we use any of these characters. So you know, these kind of things. And right now it already becomes a little bit cumbersome because I want to do this thing where I want to match any of these characters, and also the point is not, that's supposed to be a point. I have to do this. But now there's a problem in C# because it doesn't know this special character. There's a thing that you have to do with strings to make it not interpret the backslash as a special character, and then that's putting an @ symbol so that it interprets this string as a so-called literal string. Like it doesn't. So normally you can do this for new line in string, but if you do that here, that it will just interpret it as a backslash and an n. So what I can do here now is I could do this, and then I would say replace that with nothing, so that we'll just remove anything that matches there. So I will just output it for now. Console. Oh. No, I wrote, but I have to first replace it. I just did replace, but replace as an output. It doesn't replace the string itself, but it gives it back. So I have to put it in there. So I get this input, I search for this pattern. Anything that matches this pattern gets replaced with nothing, and then the output of that I will put back into input, into the string. So let's see what it does here. I do a lot of that. Oh, Alright, did something wrong here. That's probably because of the point there. Oh. Parse expression. Okay, so this doesn't work because of this point, probably. Well, let's just do commas and stuff right now, and I'm not going to worry about the point right now because of limited time. Whatever I input. Oh, damn. Invalid pattern. Range in reverse. Oh. See what I did there? I see what I did there. This one. So that is actually a character that is the dash character, but it's, you know that it's a range. Actually, there's a funny smiley in here. But if you want to use the minus character in such a matching thing, you have to put it at the end, because otherwise it thinks it's a range. That's what actually happens. So let me just put the period back down there. Now it should work. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, and here you see it's got this string here. And then when I do the replace, it will just match anything of those characters I put in there and just take them out. It will clean it up, actually, in a sense. So this is nice, but now I have to specify every character that I want not to be in there, while I actually want to specify all the characters that I do want to be in there. So I will just invert this and use this one that's a word character, like an alphabetic character, I think. I am pretty sure, unless I'm mistaken, which I can be. And I will invert it with that little thingy that does like not. Anything that's not a, or does W whitespace character. Let me check. Yeah, no, there we go. So anything that's not alphanumeric, now also the spaces, gets replaced. So if I would put in a lot of weird characters there, only the alphanumeric ones will remain. So that's pretty handy. So this is shortcut for alphanumeric. And then I want to do something else, and it's like I also want a space in there. So maybe this works. I'm not sure actually if the space in there will, because I want to leave the spaces in, otherwise I don't still have a sentence. Yes, there you go. So now what I'm filtering here, replacing from the input everything that's not an alphanumeric character, that's the \w, or space. So alphanumeric characters and spaces, anything that's not that will be replaced by nothing. So you see here that it filters out any blah, like. So if I now would, well, sir, I'd like to go east, and then it will just have this. So you can make this as complex as you want, but I'm going to stop here right now and just go into like the next step where I'm going to split this. So that's the next bit. Instead of replace, I could also use regex.split, because regex.split, you can split something on that point. So anything that's a space, for instance. But I'm just not going to use regex for that, because that doesn't really make sense. Let me see this match. I don't really need that now. So I'm gonna split it. So there's a simple method in string called split, and you can split it by a specific character. So because I filtered everything out except for spaces, I can now just split the input by space, and then I get an array of strings. And that's actually pretty handy, because now I can put that into a different regexes or not. I could do that and then put it into a parser, as you call it. But I can also, instead of that, actually go back. I got some stuff there. Yeah, there we go. I can use regular expressions to match my words. for instance, if I want the word YOLO in there, then I now have a space and then YOLO and then a space. Because now it will match YOLO, but not if I put it into something else. So let's see. If I just say YOLO now, there's nothing. But if I say yo YOLO, man, I don't know, then you get that. And there's no groups now, so the group matching doesn't work. But the nice thing about this is that it doesn't give me an error here. So that's actually a pretty handy thing. Yeah. So I can now start matching stuff that I actually want to match. So let's start with an adventure game. Let's see, I got this thing here. Yes, there. Whoa, that's very white. Does it have a dark mode or what? Well. Anyway, I've got this thing. It's just a simple, basic setup for any like classic text adventure, and I would just want to like make a little map for myself. I don't know, center of town, forest edge would be to the west, forest edge, and then we go further. Oh, come on, yes. Here there might be forest clearing, and then to the south there is like a tower or something. You can give input if you like. Let's say here there's like a guard, and I don't know, let there be any other NPCs. I don't know, maybe for now we do this, and we have the center of town, there's a shop, like a ye old shop, and to the east, I don't know, what would there be, like the church, and maybe that's it for now. So what I've got here, oh, I don't need to do save here, it's cool, it's on Google Drive. So I'm basically drawing a little diagram here, but you can also see that you could make this into like a state, state machine. A harbor, all right, sure. Yeah, harbor. I'm gonna go with the American spelling here. Or no, is it American? Yeah, it is American spelling. Oh, okay, a graveyard behind the church. That's actually pretty nice. Let's do that, but let's not continue too much here. Graveyard, and there's a zombie there, of course. Right. I'm gonna stop here for now because we can continue with this forever, especially with game design, like game developer students. We'll get to a very specific, like, big game, but let's just start with this. And I'm actually gonna take a little break from the regular expressions now and just build a small little state machine, like very simple one, but nicely set up. So I'm gonna actually make a new class. Ooh, that's interesting. C# doesn't really help. State. So this is a class, but I'm gonna make it abstract so that it's not. Why is this not? Okay, I've got to save it first. State. There we go. Now it's doing. Did I have a namespace here? Yes. Let's just take that off for now. It does that automatically, but boom. I'm not using a namespace. It's just in the overall namespace. I'm gonna make this class state, and it's going to not do a lot yet, but I can make subclasses of this. So that's actually an interesting thing that might be better than in. When I use Unity with Visual Studio Code, it just makes the files for me, of course, because Unity, you create the files in Unity, but now it's a little bit more hassle. So I'm gonna see if there's plugins for that. Probably there is. So let's think about this. Okay, we've got states for the place we are at. So um, I can do this. It's not the best. It's not usually the way to do like states. Um, let's say that this is not really normally the way you would build a text adventure. So maybe I'll do it differently. You get like a location state, but it's actually not that interesting. Location. Oops, that is weird. There we go. I don't know. I don't want to S files. Let's think about something, because a state machine in this way, like it uses different classes for different states, and actually now I don't need different classes. I just need a lot of instances of the same type. So basically, it's a bit weird to do it this way. So maybe I'll use an actual state machine for something else. Let's go back to this, and let's say that well, the door of the shop is locked or something. That might be more interesting. So I'll not do this right now. And I will make a new class that is come on, public class, and that is locked state, and that's also state. But maybe it would be door state or something if we make it more complex. But I'm gonna just do it simple now. So locked state. This is a bit annoying. All right, I have to get more into like how to work with Visual Studio Code, I guess. And then I would can I copy this thing? I don't know, probably. It would be locked state and unlocked state, and nope, open state. So then you can see if the door is. This is a bit more like complex than you would need for a door, I guess. You could use an enum for that, but if it be an NPC, then it would be a bit more interesting. So there's problems here. Why? Because this is the wrong name, and this one as well. So if the door would have all kinds of like behaviors, then it could potentially be handy to program it like this. In this case, it might be handier to just do that with an enum, but it's just an example. So what I'm gonna do now is actually go back to my my matching, my input, and do something with looking around. So that's actually pretty handy to do with the location thing, but it's not really a state machine in a state pattern kind of sense. So what I'm going to do now is, if there's a look in there, but now there's a problem with if I do this, then it's just going to be it has to have spaces before and after it, but I want to have a space after it. Maybe not even. If I do look, just look, that should also be fine. But I also want to be able to say look around, or what else kind of words do we have for look around? I don't know. There's interesting. I'm just kind of suddenly not. So it's either the start of the expression or the or a space. Yeah, search. I want to just look around, like get a where am I right now? I'm just gonna use look. So I'm gonna have to come up with a regular expression that either matches look as a specific like start of the sentence or end of the sentence. So this space in front is a problem, but it's not actually that much because there's a very simple thing I can do there. And that's just make it, oh, I can do that here as well. Canvas the area. All right, nice. I can put all this in a string and then put a space in front of it. Done. And a space at the end. So now I've got everything between spaces. Everything that is a word will always be between spaces. So this is a pretty weird way, but it works very cleanly because now I always have it. If it's a word, then it's between spaces. So I can do this now and I can see if this is somewhere in there. And I don't have to do this for match because that's how the regular expression thing in C# and in actually a lot of languages work. It doesn't have to match the whole sentence. If you want to do that, you have to put this at the beginning and this at the end. That's a special thing. Don't worry about that right now. But if you want to match the whole string, you have to make sure that it knows that you want to look for the start and the end. But right now I'm matching anything that has look. And then if you put look in there, then you can look right now. Now there's another thing here that is that it's still case sensitive. So I'm going to actually do that immediately. No, I'm not going to do that immediately. Let's see if I can use regex options. Here, there we go. Ignore case. That's a specific thing that we can use in regular expressions in C#. Ignore the case. So it doesn't matter how I capitalize this, and I've still got my input string that has the usual. So now I'm not going to write line, but I'm going to go into my whatever location I am in. So let's create a variable for the location. Location. Let's just call it location. I'm not using private here. It's just my personal preference for code is to know that when I'm working in C#, that the default is private. So if I make a class variable like a member, then it is already private. And it's just the more compact the code is, the better. If you like it more to just really see, then you can of course add private there if you want. A lot of people do like that because, for instance, if you go to a different language, then it might not be private, the default, but I like to leave it off. So I'm just declaring a location there, but it has to be like started somehow. So at the start, I have to initialize it. Location, it would be a new location. And then I have to make it some kind of location. And that's where I guess you could make a subclass like I did with the states, like this location is a state. And I could make that subclass. Making, oops, darn. Making new classes is actually not as easy. Oh, maybe like that. Okay. So I had like center of town. Maybe that makes it a little easier, but still have to type this myself. Center of town. And now there's going to be a few things in location that I need for any. Okay, let's make this abstract as well because I don't want a location that is just a location. But it has to be a specific location. Now you see that there's automatically going to be an error in program there because I'm doing new location here and I can't do that for abstract stuff. But I'll get to that in a second. What I want for location is that there's a description. So any location would have a string and that would be it. Sorry, that was not an interface. If it were an interface, you wouldn't have to use the word abstract, but I'm using an abstract class. I could also use an interface, but then I couldn't put anything in location itself, which I'm going to do now. What I'm going to do is make a protected string description. Description. And then this doesn't need to be abstract anymore, because now I could just say get description to yield description. It doesn't really help a lot, but it does help, because now if I wanted this description, I wouldn't be able to get it from outside the class. There's actually an easier way to do all this, and that is to use a property. Now making it public. So I'm using the .NET convention of public variables having a capital in C#. That's like maybe confusing if you use other languages as well, but this is C#. And now I can say it has a getter and a setter, but I can make this setter protected. The disadvantage of this way is now I have to set it in every specific instance. If I do it the other way, there we go. This is a fancy way of saying return description. It just makes it a little bit easier to read. So this is the same as this. It just makes it easier to read. And now I can actually make this into a property as well. I like those a lot, because I feel like if it's not a real function, then it's more clean to have this without parentheses, because you know it's just returning something. It's a property, which is actually the thing that it is. That's what it's called. So I now have this description string that is in here. You could think that I would do this, but that's a thing. You can't make a field abstract. So this is the classical way of like putting it together. But there's also another way that I want to show you. And if you can't follow, then just maybe look at this later again and try something yourself. And that is actually making this into a property with a getter and a setter. And you can actually make that one abstract. And actually basically do this. You don't need the setter now. And I could say this is not even possible right now, because it's abstract and I can't define what it returns. So now I could just hold on, get like this. All right. Okay. What I'm defining here, that every location has to have a description property that is returning a string and has a getter. Right now there's nothing in here because it's abstract. So what I'm doing is center of town now. Because it's not an interface, I don't have to, but now I can override that. Override and what? Oh, state. Yeah. Oh, there. Location. It wasn't location yet. So center of town is now a location. And you see that now it doesn't implement the abstract member. So that's a problem. I can probably let code do that for me. So here we go. Override string description. And right now it throws a not implemented exception. So not implemented exception like any new thing does. But right now I can just say, yeah, indeed. Right now I can just say, the description is actually now in this subclass. So I could say, you're in the center of town. I'm not going to do a lot of writing now, but you're in the center of town. There is a nice statue here. And now I can do other things. So for instance, now location, my location starts at center of town. And if I say look, then I want to actually do look. So I'm going to make this a little bit better in like programming terms, in the sense that I'm going to put this in separate function that I can, so that I can expand on matching stuff a little bit easier. So I'm going to say match command or something, look, and then I'm saying if match command look. No. Let's think. Let's do it like this first, and then we'll probably make it better later. So if not match command look, then we'll do this. And now I'm gonna have to make that function. So match command, and it has to have a string command. Okay, so I've got this new function. I'm going to try to match the command look. If it doesn't match, then I'll do the sorry, I don't know. Here we go. So I put the code that I just copied there, and there's actually just something else that I need to do. I have to give it the input, of course. So I'll put that after it. All right. Now it's the same thing that I have to do. And also, yeah, there's this thing. This is one of my quirks as a programmer. I always do, like, if I start a function and has to return something, I keep typing void anyway. It's weird, but so now it has to return a boolean indeed, and I can simply say return match.success right now, but I also want to maybe do stuff with it. So, but all right, so right now just I've got it split. So still, is it handy to do it this way? Yeah, it might be handy, but now I can write a lot of lines saying look and whatever. So a lot of different commands. But I could also put that in a little data structure, make an array of all the possible commands that I have, and then based on that one, use a function. So I'm gonna make it a little bit more interesting, and going to define a dictionary of strings to actions or functions. Hey, is that actually automatically? Oh no, it's not recognized. I was thinking like commands. There's no such thing as dictionary, but I can. That's command point. There we go. Control dot. That's what I. So using system collection generic. Now I've got got this dictionary. I'm thinking it might be function that I need, but let's see where I get. I'm going to make a little dictionary of commands. So I'm going to use the dictionary to put in stuff. And now I'm going to use a new way of, a nice way of making dictionary, and that's with literally putting everything that's supposed to be in the dictionary behind with curly brackets. So I can now, I keep forgetting how to do this every time, but let's say look, and then I will look command. I make a function, look command, and then it has to know. It has to have a let's see what I have to give it. I have to give it the input, and this can be void. All right, now look command doesn't have the right like the right way. It has to be because it takes a string, an action thing is just a way to use. If I wouldn't use input, then I could use this as an action, and that's just a class that you can use to pass a specific function or something like that to to another function. So if I'm passing the actual function, so I can run the function, but I have to have it. That's not super clear what I'm saying right now. But if you want to know more about action, I think you should experiment with it, because it's a little bit more than I can explain right now. I can't do that with something that has a parameter here. There's function for that, and now it should be able to. Oh, what's it doing here? Yeah, there. It does not. No, that's a shame. Am I doing it wrong? I'm overlooking something. Does not take one argument. Oh, that's with func. That's the out. It has a return value as a first thing, so I can actually do action with that. That's the thing. Function returns something. Cannot implicitly convert that. That's correct, because I didn't say here that the action takes a string. That's better. Sorry for all the confusion. There's function that returns something. If it would return something, then I would need to put it there. But now it's an action that takes a string as a parameter. So I can actually take all this mumbo jumbo off there. This command, this method, look command, is a action that takes a string as a parameter. You can pass it as that. So this action is a way to pass a function as a parameter. So I'm actually storing like a pointer, or whatever you want to call it, a reference to the function that I want to use. And now from this dictionary in my match, I can actually go through all those commands that I put here, and I will iterate through those. Oops. For each string command. Can I do that? No, that's not like I'm already calling this command, so I'm a little bit defined command in, and what was it? I just should call it commands. Yeah, commands dot keys. So I'm going through all the keys in the command dictionary here, and then I'm going to do this match. I could say key. Yeah, true. That's a good one. Now I'm going to see if I can do that match, but then also with the space in front of it and after it. So I'm going to put that defined command here. Okay, so what I'm going through all the keys that I put in here. So right now it's just look, and then I'm going to see if it matches with the space in front and behind in the input string, and then I need to return the value. If it matches, I will do something. So if match dot success. Right now it's actually doesn't need a regular expression anymore. I could just do string dot find or search. Which one is it? Well, anyway, I could do that, but let's stick to regular expressions, because we can make it. Maybe we'll make it more intricate later. We'll see. So if match success, then I'm going to execute the command from that I actually supplied in this dictionary. So look command in this case, but it's the value with the key So this defined command, and I can actually do this. Can I not? Oh yeah, of course I have to give it a string of the input. So this is really like what am I reading here? But the thing is, this thing looks up a function in this kind of lookup table that the dictionary is. It looks at the key, so it goes through all the keys. So at first it has look, and when it has look, it will try to match with space, look, space. And then if there's a match, it will look up here that value but belongs with the key, which is a function. And then here, like I'm running the function like this. So it's the same as saying invoke, which makes it maybe a little bit easier to read. So I'm invoking the thing that is in here. It's exactly the same as doing this. I personally like reading this, but it's just yeah, whatever you want. So now you can actually let this command also return something, which is where we get to the, the func type. Because I want to know if the command actually succeeded, because otherwise it might still not succeed and want to go over to the next bit. So I'm making it a little bit more complex by letting this return a boolean as well. And then here I can do like, oh, I first need to make it into a function, because then I want to do like, if this succeeds, then I will return true. So that means I'll stop searching for other things. And then at the end, if nothing has matched, then I will return false. The thing is, I have to make it return something. So right now I could just say return true, just to make this one not complain. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. It's kind of like a to-do. If you leave these errors in, it can be a handy way of having a to-do. This is what I still need to fix. It's also in your bar on the right in a lot of tools, IDEs. Basically, this is not a function that returns something because it's just that action. And this is where I'm going to use the func thing. Oops. So now a string to a string, but I'm really sure that, yeah, the second one is out. I don't know why I did that. That's a bit. So it inputs a string and outputs a boolean. So that's what we're going to use here now, instead of an action that just inputs a string. So now there we go. It recognizes that this has the same structure: string in, bool out. All right, so it's a function with string in and bool out. As you see here on the screen, like there's in and out. There's two types. In is string, out is boolean. And now I can actually just do this. I can input look with this function look command, and it makes for nice clean code. So now here in look command, I can actually see if the look has a useful like extra bit, and I can make it more interesting, but I think I don't have the time for that. But let's just say I'm going to see where look is, and then after that I want to have the rest. So basically that's where I'm going to get back to my regular expression, and I'm not going to only just give it the input, but I'm going to give it everything that comes after as a second thing. So what I'm doing here, I'm catching whatever comes after look and ignoring anything that would come before. And look doesn't have to have anything behind, but as soon as I'm going to get like use or look at, then it's going to be interesting. So basically going to have to return that group here. So like we've seen before, that is group the groups and then number one, because the first thing would be the whole thing and then number one would be that bit after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it the whole input, but I'm also going to give it the groups one. Now I need to this is also this is like a group, and then I will give it the value of the group, because I don't want to I don't want the group object, I just want the string. So basically what I can do here now is change it. I want to input a string and another string, and here as well. Hold on, there. Okay, so now it's a function that takes two strings and outputs a boolean, because it takes a string input and then the string after command, I don't know, something like that. And now we have, okay, we've got something intricate. We've got a function that has a string that we'll give it the whole input just so we can maybe do more with it, but we can also tell it what comes after the command that we just found. So now this is a way that the regular expression is a bit more powerful than just searching for that little bit of defined command. I'm searching for the whole thing and then automatically returning the part that comes after. If I didn't use regular expressions, I would have searched where in the string is this, and then get a substring from that plus that much. I don't know. This is way cleaner, easier, and I think also faster. Don't know. Yeah, I won't really say anything about that right now. But so for instance, now I can say here I can do something with the command that I got. So I'm ignoring the whole input right now, and I'm just gonna say if after command starts with oh, the space isn't there, around or something, then we have look around somewhere in the sentence. Maybe use the space so that we get the whole world around. And not if you say aroundishly, then it won't work, but around will work. And then we say if look around is now a command, because what I've defined here is the command look, and I'm seeing if after the command there's around. Okay, that's fine. So what I will do now is look at the current location. Let's rename this in fact as that F2 current location. It's a bit more clear. Renamed F2 in Visual Studio Code. It's like Control R in Visual Studio. Now I'm going to go to the current location and get its description, and I'm just going to write that to the console. So basically, if you do look around now, then you get the description, I hope. Return true. And then if you say look with anything else, I'm going to say I don't understand. So this is now nicely split. I've got look command and I've got it's passed here, and I'm gonna add more commands after this, just not too many because of the time, but let's just see if it works. What would you like to do? Nothing. Oh, sorry, I don't know what you mean with nothing. Oh, and now those spaces are a bit annoying. So let me just fix that quickly first. Of course, I'm replacing the input here now, and that's actually not correct, not nice. So I'm going to call this raw input, and I'm going to leave that here. Ooh, yeah. So that we have two strings. We have the raw input and we'll have the input. And if I have to give it back the sorry, I don't know what you mean. I'm actually using the raw input there. So let's do that. Okay, so the raw input will be nothing. Sorry, I don't know what you mean with nothing. And now if I say look, I don't know what you mean with look. But if I say look around, you're in the center of town. There's a nice statue here. Look around, around-ish doesn't work. Look around-ish. Look around with all kinds of that. It's fine. I want to look around me. Also fine. So it makes it a little bit more flexible than what I said at the start. You could just say I can see if the string is equal to look around, But right now, it's way more flexible. You could see like, okay, right now it's just, I could search the string for look around, and then it's also gonna work. But you can hopefully see that right now. If you give it nothing, I wanted to. Let's see what I'm doing here. Yes, if string is null or empty, like if you don't put anything in there, then I'm actually going to go to the next iteration, not do this. So continue means skip to the next loop. That's actually, I just did like enter, and I sorry, I don't know what you mean, but I wanted to do that if I don't input anything. But look around works. Look around, I don't know, whatever. Oh, hold on. Didn't I do? Oh, start with has to ignore the case as well. So ignore case is a thing here. Hold on, what? Oh, that's not the way to do this. String comparison type, invariant culture, ignore case. This is an important thing to do as well, by the way, for performance. If you do this in a performance heavy thing like a real-time game, then this is an important thing to do, because string comparison, if you don't use this in C#, it will check for all kinds of things like in some cultures that AE is the same thing as how do you do this again? Oh, that's not working for characters. If you have like that thing, and if you have this string and you compare it to this string, in some cultures it would be the same. So you can imagine that it has to go through all that with if you use the standard string comparisons, that goes for start with, that goes for equals, anything like that. So this is better now. I'm ignoring the case, and now it would work hopefully. String comparison, look around, yo. Yeah. All right, so that works, and that's actually good. You're in the center of town, there's a nice statue here. So now there's this thing where I'm going to make it a little bit more, and then I'm going to go, yeah, I'm just, let me just continue with this. If you want to stop viewing, or if you have some suggestions, then also add it. But right now, what I'm going to do with location is have like a list of objects that you can look at, because there's like a text adventure, you can say look at, and then for instance there's this statue in the center of town, and that's why I put it there, so that you can look at it. So basically gonna make a let's think, a list of objects. Let's call them object is like a not so nice thing in C#. That's of course a reserved word. So I'm gonna call it location object. Not also the nicest thing. What kind of entity? It's a problem that you always have with this the object being a thing already. But let's call it entity. So there's an entity in basically that could be a person or an object, and we could split that later, and that's actually pretty nice, because then you can say look at dwarf or whatever, and look at statue, and it would also work for both if you have a look at in there. Actually, it's abstract. I can't just make an entity. It has to be a specific entity. So now I could say like, what do I need for entity? It needs to have a name, I guess. So I'm going to do that same trick that I used for location. Like I'm going to use an abstract property with a getter. So basically this thing why am I doing it this way? This way I am forcing every subclass to implement that thing. If I just make like an what do you call it, a protected variable there, then I'm not forcing every subclass to actually implement it. So this way, if I make an entity, let me first make an object entity, and that is a bit of a thing now that I'm doing already. Oh, .cs, of course. Public class object is an entity. That's a thing, and then also making a NPC entity and public class NPC entity is an entity. That's why I split it now, because I probably want different things in there. Sorry, this is still abstract. That way I don't have to implement name for the specific thing yet. That's fine, because it doesn't have to implement everything from its abstract list of abstract things that there are. But as soon as I now make an actual statue, for instance, so I'm going to make a statue. This is now becoming a bit nasty in terms of organization. So I would actually, well, let me just do that quickly. Objects, and then put the where's it, statue in there, and then I'm going to have a new folder, locations, and center of town. Yes. Why did I ask and didn't ask for statue? That's weird. Oh, hold on. I didn't put statue in there. Okay. So now I've got that. That's a little bit better. And still can probably state. Maybe state can go in there, and unlocked state. Yeah. That would be. It's a bit weird. Let me just. I'm going to delete these door things right now. Yeah. I'm not using them. Where is it? Open state. There we go. So we've got locations. I'm actually just putting location in locations. That makes sense. And then object entity into objects. And then I'll put down a folder NPCs and put NPC entity in there. And now it's, that's nice. That's now a little bit more organized. I think state is not used here. I'm deleting states. All right, there we go. That's a bit better. So now it's organized a bit, and I can go do something with the statue. Public class statue, and it is an object entity. And now we see that it doesn't implement name. So now I have to override name. And whoop, it does that for me, but I still have to say what is the name. So now I can say statue. Super simple. What I can do is like lowercase this in case I want to use it in a sentence. I don't know, you might do that here or somewhere else. It's something that you have to think about if you would actually build this into a full game. Let's see how much time I have left. Oh, that's quite okay. Nice. Let's see. I'm gonna probably continue a little bit longer than the time that's allocated for this class, but that's up to you if you want to keep watching. Let's see. So I've got a statue, and now I want to do something with the objects. So basically, for any entity, I would want to be able to look at it. So actually, gonna have the same thing here as location, like a description. So let's just do that. The thing is, this might change with the state of the object. but let's not get into that now. But I'll just you could use that the same way. Oh, what? Override. Oh, doesn't let me. Strange right now. There we go. A marble statue of some mayor. It looks like a dwarf, of course. So I'm going to use this description to be able to look at stuff. And that is, of course, in program, because there's the, I might split that into multiple classes, but there's no time for that. So, so if it's look around, then that's fine. But now in look, I can actually go more into stuff and say, if I have after command, and then I can say, okay, what do I want? I want to start with at. Now I can do the same thing, but I can also just do a regular expression thing as well, because then I already have the it's a bit of a choice. I could do that actually, else, and I'm going to do this now. So using a regular expression to match at in the after command part, and then add something, and then I'm actually going to need this to not be a space. So I'm going to look only at the first word after what I'm looking at. That would be anything that's not a space. All right. Oops. There we go. So here is anything that's not a space, and any number of those, and that it will put that in here. Now actually this needs to be at the start of the string, so I'm going to do that as well. So if the start of the string is at space, and then it matches something that is not doesn't have spaces, then it will put that into the first group. So now I can use this code a little bit. If this matches a success, so I've got at with another word behind it, then I will use the group 1. I don't know why I got all that. I will try to match the name of an entity that is in this location. So that I will have to ask the location, get object, for instance, or entity, was it? Entity by name. I'll call it get entity by name with that name. So I'll have to implement that in location. Now in a location, I'll first have to have a group. So I didn't have that yet. So there's going to be a hash set of entities. And I'll have to, oh, I can do that actually now, can I not? Entities. And it's a bit weird how Visual Studio Code does that. So it has an hash set of entities, and I'm actually going to it has to be initialized, and this is why I didn't make it into a interface. I made it into a abstract class instead of an interface, and that's because it does some stuff already, and an interface wouldn't be able to do that. So this location has a set of entities. I'm actually not sure that why this is state right now. It doesn't need to be a state. I did it differently. That's live coding for you. Okay, so we've got a hash set of entities. There's no entities in there right now, but and then there has to be a get entity by name. So maybe hash set is actually the best one. I'm actually gonna make it a dictionary immediately, because then I can store them by new dictionary. I can store them by name, and I can also still go over all the keys, all the values. That's no problem with the dictionary, but it's actually nice. So now I can actually define public entity, get entity by name, and that actually could still simply be entities try get value. I can't do this like that. Entity result. I don't need to do that. Hold on. There we go. And this entities try get value out entity result. And what am I missing here? I don't know. Oh, the string. Get entity by name, string name. I'm looking for the entity with that name, putting it in result, and result will be null if it's not anything. So I can just return result. This way I won't get any exceptions if it's not matching, if it's not in there. But if it is, then I will get the entity. If it's not, I will get null. Now what there, get entity by name. So this will now give me an entity. Yeah, so look at, and then I'm gonna see if that, and I'm gonna say if entity. Let's just say entity. Okay, I'm getting an entity from location, from this dictionary of entities, and it should be in there. If it's not in there, then I'm getting null. If it is in there, then I get an entity. So if entity is null, then I will let's return no. Actually, no, this is not a return false thing, because the look command has still succeeded. So anytime there is at, then look command will do something with it, namely that. And then if there's an at and a word behind it, then I would say if there's no entity, I would write there is nothing like a here. And what would that be? There is nothing like a, and then the thing that matched there. So that's the same thing here. I'm going to get that into a variable so I can use it twice. I could have just copied that, but that's less. Oops. Weird. Didn't copy name. Why would I copy name? And there's nothing like a, and then the name you requested here. Let's see. So that would work, and then else. Now I have an entity. Actually, this is nicer. No, it's not. Now I have an entity, so I can use the description of the entity, and then I could just say console write line, and then the entity dot description. All right, so right now I've got a few more commands. What would you like to do? Look around. I'm in the center of time. There's a nice statue here. Look at, there's nothing like a here. Okay, so that's actually not what we want. let's make one stipulation here. If match.success and the name, we'll get it here, is not empty. There. We've won a success, but we also want that to be something. Oh, never mind. I can do it more easily with regular expressions. I matched here on 0 or more, but it has to be 1 or more. So now it does always match. This is regular expression stuff. So now look at, and then nothing won't work. Look at, I don't know what you mean. Look at me. There's nothing like a me here. And then look at statue. Statue. Oh, all right. There's nothing like a statue here. Why? Because I didn't put it in the collection yet. So I've got this whole nice get entities by name, but it's not put into the dictionary yet. So basically center of town doesn't even have a statue here. So what I'm going to do with location is I'm going to have quickly have a protected. No, maybe I want to use it elsewhere as well. Public void add entity, and I want that to be an entity that I can add to this location. And then I will simply say I'll keep it simple for now. Entities dot add entity by name. So entity dot name entity. So this adds to the dictionary a name of the entity and the entity itself. So in center of town, I'm simply going to make its constructor, and I'm going to say add entity new statue. So I'm going to add a statue object to the entities. Now there's a statue object in there. Now I could actually say look at statue. Boom, and there we go, a marble statue of some mayor. It looks like a dwarf. So you see that from all the classes that I made now, I've put a new statue object in the entities list of the location object that is center of town. And then that when I do get entity by name in program, so program says look. Okay, so there's look. Oh, this is not good. I should go over all the commands. That's weird. I'm not using command, of course. There we go. That was an old one. If not match command input. There we go. Okay, so I'm matching a command. It's in all the defined commands. Let's look here. And then I'll use the function look command. Look command checks if there's at after that, matches with the word that comes after at, and then looks at the get entity by name function of location with that thing. And in location, get entity by name will try to get from the dictionary of entities, which here add entity added it to, looks if there is something with that name. So this is a lot of data structures and stuff like meshed together into something useful, because now it's super easy for me to make a new location and a new thing. So let's go back to our little thing. So right now there's a statue here. So I could add a new, simply add a new thing that's like connections between locations. So I could do that, and I'll keep it no, I'll keep it like this. So there's entities there, but there's also a direction to new location connections. All right, so direction is not something that is there yet, but I could say there's an enum direction oops. And the enum direction would have in there north, east, south, and just to keep it simple, south and west. And you could add to that later. I would always recommend giving them actual numbers there, so that if you want to match, like shuffle them around later, and you've stored something with that number, then you will always be able to keep the same number. But you don't have to do this. This is just a super pro tip. It's especially useful in Unity. Basically, direction is just an enum, and I can now say there's a new dictionary of connections. It's not just entities, you get them by name, but it's connections to other locations. So basically what I can do now is, in the program I've set up a, where is it? Current location is center of town. That's the only thing I did to construct this whole bit. So what I can do is from there expand, but I could also just add the locations here. Doesn't really matter a lot. There's a number of ways you could do this, but right now I'm just going to say I'll just have a list, no, not a list, a hash map of locations, no action, and what? Oh, hash set. There we go. Hash set of locations, and actually create that. Locations is a new hash set of locations, and then and the current location has to be added to that. Actually, maybe I don't even need that. Oops, locations dot add current location, and then I could keep adding other locations, and somehow I want to have them like automatically connect to each other or something, but that might be a bit much. Well, maybe not. Let's just say, yeah. Center of town is there. There's a number of ways I could do this. Yeah, I don't know. Also, you probably want to not put this into all separate. If you want to make a real game, you probably want to not put this into separate classes, but you want to put all these descriptions and the way that your entities go into like text files in JSON or YAML or XML, so that you can actually build a whole thing. But you still use the same principle of making a location object with that description and the entities. But this session is a bit too short for that. If there are people who want to like me to do a stream at some point, or like continuing on this, making it into something where you actually read a file, stuff like that, or anything else, then let me know in the chat or in the comments later, and then I'll see what I can do about that. Basically right now I'm going to just do it manually a little bit. I'm just going to go to let's add some locations, and I'm not going to go on for that much longer anyway. Church, and we want a graveyard, shop harbor. Oh, did I do that? No, I didn't. Oh, that's also a nice thing. If you want to match harbor or harbor, that would be fine. So with regular expressions, for instance, I could just have a match So let's see. The only thing I have now with a name is statue, but if I could give every location a name as well, that's actually not a bad idea. I could give a location a name, but the name could be a regular expression. So let's say I would give the harbor a name. Yeah, come on. And I also need to have a name in there, otherwise I can't override it. So harbor has a name because it's a location. And now it also has to have a description because it's a location. Oh, yeah. And come on. There we go. Okay, so it has to have a harbor. I'm not gonna do a lot there. Yeah, let me just quickly say this could be harbor or harbor without the U. And this is super simple. Now I can, because I'm using regular expressions, I can match this name and it would just match harbor with or without a U. And I could do that with different things. Same with shop. I could match shop with PE or not. Basically, that's not used right now yet, but I would be able to say go to harbor, and instead of just go south, I could say go south, and then it would be at the harbor. But I also could say go to harbor, and that would make it a little bit more convenient. So let me just simply quickly add the harbor now. Locations.add harbor, harbor is new harbor. What? Can I do that? No. All right, then I'll do that. I basically make a harbor and add it to the locations, and then I will say current location dot. Oh, I can't do that yet. Add connection direction dot south, and then harbor. I have to still make that bit. So I've got at entity, and I can actually copy that bit a little bit for directions, connections. I can make the new dictionary of connections, and then I can say add connection the same way I did add entity. Location, but I also have to have a direction, direction, and then I add to the map of connections, I add the direction, and on that direction it will have location. All right, so when I want to look up if it goes to a specific direction, then I could say get location by name doesn't work actually here with a regex. I didn't do that with regex yet, so that would not work in this way, in this way. So let's just not do that right now. I could show that, but it's kind of the same thing. The problem is that if it's a dictionary, then it wouldn't work, and I would have to do something special with the regexes. So this little bit won't really work like this, because then I would have to iterate over all the objects and actually see if they match, which would work nicely, but let's not do that right now. Why does this not work? Add connection. Did I not? Oh, add connection. Right. Get location by direction, and then it's direction, direction, and then I'll say connections, try get value direction, out location result. So now I'm getting a result and location. I'm getting a location from the dictionary of locations, matching by direction. So now the only thing I have to do is make it understand direction words. I could put that into something very like another dictionary very quickly. Dictionary of strings to yeah, that's quicker, that's nicer. Directions, direction names, and that would be north, but also N. That doesn't work. I'm struggling for the right regular expression syntax right now. Let's just keep it at north for now. North. Oh yeah, because I have to look it up anyway. So let's not do that. North is direction dot north. Why is this not going the way I want it to? What did I do differently? Oh, new. Dang. All right, that's dumb. Okay, I must be tired. This must be done in the new thing, of course. So I'll do that before commands. Right. So basically, no, actually, I can do it there. I will do it there. I'll do it here. But I'd have to say is new. No, that. So that makes more sense. North, east, south, west. East, south, west, north, east, south, west. Remove the comma, and it should be fine now. It's not. Why not? Oh, duh. Yes. So I've got this dictionary that's preset with like, I can look up a thing by string now. What I could also do is use the name of the enum, but I'm going to, because I want to later on be able to use more intricate stuff. Well, later on, I'm not going to probably work on this, but still. So right now, when I can match command, I can add a new command, and that would be, just that line. I'll add a command to my list of commands, and that will be go. And it's go command. And I will make a go command. Let's say go command. And it takes, what did it take? Like 2 strings, yeah. I could just copy this. All right, so what I'm going to check now is go, and then if the let's go over all that. This might not be the best way to do it. Yeah, actually, I could. I can do it with regular expressions there, but I'm gonna go over that right now. But like a direction. Oh no, never mind. After command, there should be a bit go, and it should match with one of those things. So I will actually grab the bit that's after the command and just grab the first word. So I'm gonna do it the way I did it there, but then there's no word in between. So go, there's actually 2 things I want to do. Go to something, or Or maybe if that's not a success, return true. And here return true. And here return false. Just make sure that all my paths return what they need to. Okay, so true or false still means, did I actually resolve this command? So there's go to something, and there's go not to something. Go at the start, there should be a word, and that matches. But this is only after. There's no match for go to. So if there's a match for go to something, then that's fine. If there's not, then I'm going to check if there's a word after it. If there's a word after it, I'm going to see if that matches one of those directions in the dictionary. So direction, yeah. If if direction names dot try get value with that match thing, and the match is match dot groups one dot value and then it has to put that into direction. So if there's a match in my direction dictionary, then it will put that into direction. If that is true, then I've got a direction here, and I can go into that direction. Then, so now I can look at my current location, and I will have a get location by direction. This direction. I can't do if yet. I want to first get it. So location. Go to location is that. If the go to location is found, so it's not null, then we have to go there. So if it's null, then we can say, okay, what's the thing here that's happening? We have a match. We say go and then something. There is a direction there, like north, south, east, west, but there is not a location in that direction. So we can say to the user, what? We can say you can't go, and then that direction. Oh, let's say direction. All right, so basically if I say go south, go north, and there's nothing connected north, it would say you can't go north with a capital. Though I could have to direction is a direction. Oh, that can't do that with the enum name. ToString. I can format it, but let's just keep it like this. You can't go south. So, and if there's not a location in the dictionary, then it would say there's no such thing direction as there is no such direction as, and then the input that we gave actually, that bit. String direction input would be that, so that I only put it down once again. Direction input, there's no such direction, and then I'll put it in quotes again because it's what the player input. All right, so there's no direction like southeast or something, anything that you say that's not a possible direction. And now let's finish off by actually testing it. If there is a match, then we will go to the location, and that's here. we are actually going to the location. And then you simply write OK, I think, if you went in a direction, but then you also have to go to the location. So current location would be the go-to location. So basically now if I type go south, then we go there. The other thing here, go to, would have to match on name. I'm going to comment that out for now and just see if this works. Oh, let's see what was our problem. Center of town doesn't implement. Name, yes, true. Center of town. And also, oh, get, yeah, it does. What the, oh, that's a build error. Is it different? No. Yeah, there we go. It didn't clean. All right, what would you like to do? Look around. Look at statue. You would actually, that would be nice if you say there's a nice statue here, you make that into something that the objects actually define as well. But that's splitting it further and further up into stuff. Maybe I'll do that one and then call it a day. Go south. Okay. Look around. Oh. A harbor. So now if I say look at statue, there's nothing like a statue here. So basically the state, which is kind of like location, is kind of like a state. The location changed, the location object. So the location object is asked for an entity called statue. And like at this point, you're in the center of town. So center of town node has this statue object. So then if you say look at statue, you get the marble statue of some here. It looks like a dwarf. Then I go south. Okay, so that means I went south. And then I look around and I'm in a harbor. And then I look at statue and there's no statue because we have then replaced the here we go. We've replaced the location object simply like this. Look, this is super simple now. Current location is the location I went to. So that's the location I found. And then it says, okay, and then I am in the harbor. You are in a harbor. You are in a harbor. That's a little bit better. Oh, actually, harbor is now with a U. Let me quickly go through that. That I can actually do this with a regular expression. This bit is what I said I would still do. And now that's only if that wasn't a match, so it wasn't a match. So go to harbor. And there also one last thing is like I want to list the directions that you could go in. That would actually mean that I would need two things. More than description, I would need like the name, display name or something, but let's not do that. I'm not going to get to that. Let's just make sure that it can go to and then by name, and then that name is also used as a regular expression. So now there is this connection to the south, a harbor, and the harbor can be searched by name. So if I have to and a word, then I will have to look at the, let's use this bit. I get the group 1, so that's the word that comes after to, and that is the name input. Let's call it name input. And that's the name of the location I would want to go there. And now I would go through all the locations that are connected to the to the location that I am now. So actually not that different from here, but it would simply be this, and something like current location, get location by name, connected. I make a point of making the variable and function names, method names, as descriptive and precise as possible. Get connected location by name from this location, and then that would be name input. And you can't go to any from here, and that would be name input. All right, so if there's no location found, you can't go there, and then otherwise it says okay. And now we just have to implement get connected location by name into a location. So basically making a location finder, get connected location by name. Now I would want to find that name in the keys of all the stored connections. And then I can say, I could simply just do it like this for now. Location in connections dot values. So now I'm not iterating over the keys, but I'm iterating over the values in this dictionary. So all the connected locations. And for each location, I'm going to check with a regex. So I don't have those here, but I'm just going to copy them because it's quicker. Maybe not even quicker. Regex.match the name with the location's name. Oh, I can't do that. Can I? Oh yeah, I can, of course. Duh. And now I don't have regex because I didn't use that in this class yet. Now it's here. Regex.match. So if there's a match here, if match.success, then I'm going to return that specific match location, and otherwise I will not. So return null. There we go. So if I find the regular expression matching with name, so that would mean harbor with a U or without a U, in this case, then I would be able to go there. Let's see if that works. Or if maybe I forgot something still, but go to harbor. Okay, well, it works. Look around. Look around. You're in harbor. Go north. That's not. And then you say you can't go north because I put that in there. That's not connected. So that's actually an oversight. Of course, if I want to connect them, it's a bit icky because I can't go back north from the harbor when I add a connection to south from here. So I would make that into a nice function, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to do it by hand. And sometimes it's actually not possible to go back. So now there's a connection back and forth. So I could like go to the harbor by going south and go to the center of town. Oh, that doesn't work now because the name of center of town is with spaces. Oh, maybe it does. Go south. Go to center of town. No, because it gets only the first word. So that's a little bit of an oversight. But, well, what can you do about it? But I could go north and then go to harbor. Oh yeah, let's see if the thing works. Yeah, go north again, go to harbor. Go to harbor without the U, also works. And I think that's where I kind of wrap up. I wanted to exit. Might be nice to do that actually. If raw input equals oh my god, equals what, implement equals, wow, okay, equals exit, ignoring the case again, then I will break. That's all I need. So that's the last little bit. Exit. Then I'm stopping the game. I could ask for confirmation, etc., etc. One thing I did say I wanted to do is give the the object, like any entity, actually not only a name and a description, but also a location description. So let's say I got the statue here, and then there's a location description, and that is actually what I put in location now. Because if for some reason I would take away, oh man, there, no, yeah, where is it? Center of town. There is a nice statue here. If for some reason the statue would be taken away and the entity wouldn't be there, then it would be a problem. So basically, I want the entity to say that. So the entity gets a location description, and now that is added to location when there's a thing there. So basically, for location, if I say description, that is going to be a little bit more intricate than that. So it's let's say I'm going to just make a new public string full description. It's not really nice, but yeah, I guess it will have to do for now. Return the description. No, let's make it a string first. I'm not going to do string builder right now, but let's just say I would be string result. Nah, let's just do it for now. String builder. It's string builder. I keep forgetting. System build text. There we go. String builder. Full. And then I'm gonna build the string full dot append description, and then full dot hold on, that's not completely true because I want to append a new line. Boolean. Oh yeah, I can just add a new line, like one character, and then I'm going to go over all the extra entities there in there. So let's go over all the entities. That is entity. For each entity in entities, I will append entities dot values. I will append the location description of that entity and append a return. The thing is, if it's the last one, I don't want to get the return behind it. It'll just have to work like that. And basically, when I get full description, I will know that it always ends with a new line. Return full dot to string, right? That's, I could just do that. Return full as string. Oh. Pretty sure that's the way to build a string without overhead. And then when I use the name of the location, let's look. Here, entity.description. So that's look around. I want look around. Oh, here, current location dot full description. There we go. So right now, in full description, it will go through all the. So if I do look around, we're in the center of town. There's a nice statue here. There's one new line too many, so I'm not gonna write line here because current full description always has a new line at the end already. And there we go. Now look around gets center of town. There's a nice statue here. I can look. That is actually done by the statue itself. Look at statue, and then you get the thing. And I can go south, or like even go to harbor. And I would do the same thing with the nice statue with all the connections that are possible if you want that for your game. Like you would say, like you go over all the locations that are connected, and you can say to the south there is, and then the name of the thing, a harbor, and you could do the same thing, location, connection description, or something like that. Look around. Again, you're in a harbor, and now if I look at statue again, it's like not possible. But like if I do it like this, and now for instance I want to make a boat, it's going to be super simple. I will. Can I do this? That's easy. I make a copy of the statue. I will name it to boat. I'll say boat, and boat. There is a small boat here, and then you would actually be able to do. I'm pretty sure this will work. Small boat or boat. I'm not completely sure this is the way to match complete bits, but I think so. Let's see. So small is, actually, like that. Small or not. Small boat. And then there's a small boat here. And then if you look at boat or look at small boat, it will work. Oh, it won't work because it stored them. This is the one I didn't do. Sorry, this is the one I didn't do with regular expressions yet. So there is a boat here. A small rowing boat. And then there is something shiny on the bottom. And then you would, well, this is just my game design speaking, like, then you would have to look at that, and you can't. You have to get into the boat, and so a lot of things happening. That's the end. Of course, then it's an adventure game. So basically, if I go south, and I look around, you were in a harbor. Hey, hold on, I didn't add it to the harbor. That's correct. Add entity new boat. So it's that easy now to add a new boat to that location. There we go. Go south, look around. And there you see, you're in a harbor. There is a boat here now. So that now, just because I added this thing there's a boat here. And now I can actually look at boat, and it works. A small rowing boat. There's something shiny on the bottom. And then I can like go into boat or whatever other commands I want to add to that. So if you just like, I'm going to go over like what I did here. It's basically setting up a system that is structured, and you can easily expand on it, and you can like using like lots of different data structures and structured programming with something that's really similar to the state pattern. I mean, it doesn't call state, but the location that you're currently in is the state of your player. So it's basically the state design pattern that the state is responsible for instance, if you look around, the current state, the current location is responsible for the full description. And the full description is just defined in here, but they will use stuff. Where is it? Here. Full description will use stuff that is actually added in the subclasses. And then again, entity, object entity, we could go into NPC entity. We didn't even do that, but you could do all that, and you could talk to, and then we look at all the NPC entities, etc. So, and then using regular expressions, I matched words. I also did replace to make sure that if I didn't even try that, but go south, that would also work, even though there's a comma there. Go south. Oh, I didn't do that invariant. That's weird. Oh yes, of course. You can't go direction. Get location by direction. I didn't even fully do that correctly. Get location by direction just tries to get the value here, but it doesn't compare this without cases. So basically, what I'm going to do for this specific case, what I would do, I would use my dictionary. Where is it? Of directions. Sorry. Oh, that is not what I did. Huh? You can't go direction. What was my output again when I did this? So this is one thing that I can fix now. Go south. There's no such direction as south. Oh, that's that one. Try get value. And here direction input, I'm going to actually do two lower invariant. In this case, I'll use the dictionary itself is defined with lowercase strings. So I'll just use two lower. So the input I give, I will make into lowercase, and then it'll work with that. I didn't see that one. That was a little go south. Ah, come on. Yep. Whatever I want to type in terms of that stuff, but then it works. All right, so that's wrapping it up. I will now open up this stream so that it becomes a public video. You can look at it whenever you like and go over things a little bit more slowly. I will I'll actually post a zip put a zip of this whole code into the description after finishing up, so that you can go over all this code yourself without having to retype it. But it also does make sense to do that kind of stuff yourself and not only study this code. But it might be a little bit handier if you can look at it like I did it right now. Actually, basically going to delete the ones that I'm not I didn't even use. So, but yeah, try doing that, adding more classes, adding more locations, or more entities, maybe making the NPC entity. It's really nice stuff to practice that way. And I think that about wraps it up for me. Yeah, I think that that should be a nice session. I hope that it was useful. I hope you learned a lot from it. And well, like I said before, let me know in the comments if you want me to do more of this. I'll see if I can accommodate that. I will be teaching at the Amsterdam University of Applied Science anymore in the near future, but I will still be on this channel. I used to do live game development of our own games, but I think this makes way more useful content for most people. So I'm thinking probably this might be nice if I do this more often. Right, so that's it. Thank you very much, and yeah, see you next time.